Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Gisela K. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today our case takes us to Denver, Colorado, around that area. Okay? We're not gonna do too much map time today. I just want to show you the general area. I don't want to show the exact apartment complex or anything like that right now. Welcome to all my moderators, patrons, members, subscribers, any locals in chat, and any family or friends of these victims. We're going to go over this whole case in a moment. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and share so that others can also know we are live right now and discussing this new case. And also, let me just quickly minimize this and get our presentation. I also just want to say, if you hear any fireworks in the background, I hope you don't, but it is a little bit loud. It is a it's National Swiss Day or Swiss National Day, and so it's kind of like the 4th of July in Switzerland, and so this is the one day besides New Year's where there will be some fireworks. Okay, all right, so, and happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? It's somebody's birthday. Rob says happy August 1st. Happy birthday to the person whose birthday it is. I just see everyone saying happy birthday. Okay, so let me get our presentation here quickly. All right, so we're looking at the case of Seorin Kim, who was 44 years old when she died just 2 days ago, and her infant child as well, and this professor who is accused of murdering them. It's a shocking story. It's a story so far of family annihilation. So yeah, trigger warning, okay? So let's look at what we know so far. Now, just to give a bit of a spoiler alert, this guy is currently facing 1 count of first-degree murder. Now, all the reports up to just a few hours before I went live said there's no formal charges yet. But then on the court docket, it shows that there's now a criminal case number and there's 1 count of first-degree murder. So I think he's already now been charged with 1. However, he's going to be back in court tomorrow. Okay, at the time of this live stream, it's August 1st. Happy August to everyone. And so he's going to be back in court tomorrow to face those charges. So I guess he'll be formally arraigned on the charge. Okay. All right. So this is in Denver, Colorado, North Syracuse Avenue, around that area in the Central Park area of Denver County, Colorado. That's where it's taken place. It shocked the whole community. I mean, it must be so scary. Now let's look at who this guy is that got arrested. Okay. He's he was at the Regis University, an associate professor, okay? So they say philosopher Roger Scruton has observed the culture of a civilization is the art and literature through which it rises to the consciousness of itself and defines its vision of the world. Myklebust is a linguist and interloper in the literatures of post-classical and medieval cultures who reconstructs prior visions of the world and the text through which past civilizations rose to consciousness of themselves. His research models the complex metrical cultures of 11th and 15th century poets to map the processes by which cognitive bias drives innovation in literary forms, and in particular how a fortuitous glitch in the neural life of the human person, rooted in subcortical motor regions of the brain, offers a more complete history of English literary history as a game theoretic enterprise and outlines a roadmap for the clinical rehabilitation of motor disorders. Okay, pop quiz, everyone. What did I just say? Repeat after me. That was a lot. That was a mouthful. Oh my goodness. So basically, a literary scholar who specializes in 11th and 15th century poets. He's been associated with the Regis University for 10 years. And he's also been the recipient of several dissertation awards and scholarships. So a very academic man, okay? With no criminal history, no prior criminal records or history, all right? Blueberry, you say, well, that's a mouthful. Yeah, that's what I said as well, right? So now repeat after me, everyone. That's very wow. Okay, so Regis University spokesperson Cheryl Tyrrell, I don't know if it's Tyrrell, confirmed that Myklebust, actually they call him Myklebust. To me, it looks almost like a Eastern European surname like Myklebust. But anyway, Myklebust is how they're saying it on the news. Myklebust was a professor here and has been a faculty member since 2014. His official title is Associate Professor in the English Department. I had a look. I asked Uncle Google, what's the difference between Associate Professor and Professor? And generally, you can refer to an Associate Professor as a Professor as well. So you'll see on all the news articles, they're like, Professor this and that. Not anymore. For now. Okay, for now, not anymore. I don't know if he ever will be again. So she, based on the accusations so far, she added that the Regis community is distressed by the news and that in moments of such sorrow and confusion, we are reminded of our Jesuit values to offer compassion and to seek justice with love. Okay, Johnny Desant says, family annihilators are such cowards. Very frustrating. Yeah, and there's a bit of a plot twist with this case as well. Oh dear, we're going to get to it. Okay, Phantom says, lol, I couldn't tell you the first or last of that cuck. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's go to what happened on July 29th of 2024, which is like 2 or 3 days ago. Oh my word, today's August 1st, like what? This case is very, very new, right? Okay, July 29th of 2024. At approximately 6:52, I always love it when they say that on probable cause affidavits and all the articles, at approximately, and then they give an exact time. Approximately 6:52 a.m., a 911 call was made by Nicholas Myklebust. He's also 44 years old. That's a picture, that's a mugshot, okay? He looks very different compared to his professor self, right? This is happening in Colorado, for those who missed it, right? There we go. Mama True Crime said Myklebust is a Norwegian surname. Okay, wait, I'm covering my own face when I put the comments up. A Norwegian surname. I thought it could be something like that. Okay, interesting. So he's also 44. That's his mugshot on the right. It looks pretty damn scary, right? So don't know what state of mind is in there. I'm sure he'll go for a mental health evaluation, but what is going on, right? Yeah, Kazoo says this case is still wet behind the ears. Now, he stated that he had just found his wife on the ground with blood coming from her head. He said that he suspected she'd fallen from a stepladder. Now, there's a couple of cases I've covered here on my channel where it's like, you know, what there's one that we did a few months ago where the guy was also like, I think my wife fell down the stairs. Or the dog pushed her. Yeah, the dog must have pushed her, you know, got entangled in the scarf, things like that. This guy is like, yeah, I think she fell from the stepladder. And he said that he had also found his infant baby not breathing. Now, I believe that infant baby was a girl and 2 months old. Okay? Officers and paramedics arrived on scene and found his wife, Seorin Kim, 44, with multiple blunt force injuries to her head and face, noting that her injuries were not consistent with the fall, but they also weren't sure what caused them. So they've got that little disclaimer in there, right? Stefan says, the naughty stairs again. Yes, naughty little step ladder here in this one. And wait, you'll hear more excuses that he made as well. So just remember that this guy is innocent until proven guilty. I mean, really all the red flags, all the arrows, everything is pointing at him right now. But he's innocent until proven guilty. And we're waiting for tomorrow for him to be formally charged with at least one count of first-degree murder. We shall see. Okay, so I'll keep you posted on this case. Now, they say that Seorin was, I hope I'm saying her name right, was taken to the hospital and she was pronounced dead at 7:31 a.m. And the infant daughter was found on the bed in the bedroom. So the wife's on the floor and there's blood coming from her head. There's a pool of blood. The infant, 2 months old, is on the bed, dead, okay, no visible injuries, okay, and pronounced deceased at the hospital at 7:32 a.m. There's some reports that say the infant was pronounced dead at the scene, but the timing of that 7:31 and 7:32 makes me think, if I just put two and two together, I think they were both taken to the hospital and pronounced deceased there. So with the infant, there were no visible injuries. And I think that, of course, they're conducting autopsies on both of these victims. But when I saw the update today of like, oh, on the court docket, it says 1 count of first-degree murder, my first thought was, why not 2? I would think that it's going to be much harder to prove, perhaps, what happened to the infant, who did it, and all of that. You know what I mean? It could take some more time, so that's maybe why. Doodle Mom, thank you for being a member for 18 months. Thank you so much. So, isn't that just so scary, though? And now we go. So this is the timeline of July 29th of 2024. It's everything we know so far. Now, what does he say happened? Are you ready? There's the naughty stepladder, but also he says that he woke up from sleeping on the couch and he went to check on his wife and baby in the bedroom and found them on the ground. Now, I was able to get the probable cause affidavit, but they've redacted his entire narrative. Why? I don't know. Probably to protect him legally or something, but oh man. I'll show you afterwards so that you can see what I mean. But yeah, no. There was a news clip that shared a little bit of the unredacted version. So I was trying to zoom in on that and just see what exactly he said there, why he was sleeping on the couch. From what I could see from the blurry text when you zoom in, he said that either he or his wife wake up easily in the night, and for some reason he was sleeping on the couch. So he wakes up from nap time or just from sleeping on the couch at night. He's like, oh my word, let me go check on them. And then he's like, what? He says that his wife was lying face down, and then he turned her over. He noticed the blood coming from her head and that her eyes were bruised. He then noticed that the baby wasn't breathing, so he moved her from the carrier and then tried to move his wife to the bathroom. Why does he do that? That's scary. And you know what? We'll find out later. They found a bloody glove in the trash, I think it was. We'll read it now. It's on the next slide. Why would he put on gloves and then like try to move her body? Like what? Don't do that. I mean, like, I don't know. That's a very creepy thing to do. Okay, so he tried to move her to the bathroom. And then he thought that she had fallen from the stepladder in the bedroom and hit her head. Now, the Denver Police Department, in the meantime, they said, alert, DPD is conducting a death investigation in the 3200 block of North Syracuse. The Denver office at the medical examiner will determine cause of death. If the status of this investigation changes to a homicide, we'll update on this thread. So that was posted on X. And then later they updated on July 29th as well and said, update. A second victim was transported to the hospital and pronounced deceased. So that's why, okay, I think they transported them both to the hospital. And there, it was two different doctors that they named in the PCA, but they were both declared deceased. They said this incident is now being investigated as a double homicide. Okay. Investigators believe that they are in contact with all involved persons, which was all of this professor. But okay, you know, from what we've heard so far, maybe they've got other contacts. I don't know. Investigation is ongoing. All right. So that's what he says happened. And then let's get to the search warrant, right? A search warrant was obtained for the residence and bags were placed over Nicholas's hands on the right-hand side there. There's a neighbor that actually took some footage of, you know, he saw, oh, that's his neighbor. And he actually said he was vomiting and they were putting bags on his hands and taking him to the police station. So he's like, whoa, this looks serious. Like, what is going on there? So police noticed that Nicholas had bruising and blood on his knuckles, and he had scratches on his neck and chest. There were 3 pools of blood, the one near the bassinet along the south wall of the bedroom where Nicholas says he found his wife was where she originally was, and the others were from paramedics, they say, moving her body. I just wonder if he had successfully moved her body to the bathroom, if that's also not one of the 3 areas of interest. There was no evidence in the bedroom to show that Seorin had fallen or hit her head. So they, you know, they looked at all the items. They looked at, you know, side tables, the wall, anything in the way, and they're like, there's no evidence of that she had fallen off the stepladder or anything, right? Yes, thank you. Isa Osinska. Now, if you say Myklebust is a Norwegian name, not Eastern European. Yes, someone earlier told me that as well. How would one say it? Would you say Myklebust or Myklebust in Norway? That's what I would like to know. So now they say police found bloody gloves. Oh, they're in the dryer, not the trash. I said trash earlier. In the dryer. I was trying to think. I was trying to visualize. In the dryer and on the dryer, which may prove that the crime scene had been altered. Bloody gloves? Oh, my goodness. They say it also appeared that the crime scene had been cleaned up before the 911 call was made. Wow. Okay. Mooney said, for a man with many words, he didn't think that statement through, right? Now we get to the police interview. I hope one day we could see this police interview, as scary as it might be. He waived his Miranda rights, so of course he was read his rights and he understood it. And then the police interview continued. Nicholas told police that he and his wife have a great relationship. Yeah, they say that usually. He is innocent until proven guilty. I'll say it again, disclaimer. Okay, it's just a lot of red flags with him, but all right. So he said that he and his wife have a great relationship. He said that the baby was more fussy than usual. Does he mean lately? Did he mean that day? If he's saying that day, well, then he's kind of self-snitching because he claims to have woken up, gotten up from the couch and just walked into the bedroom with both of them deceased. So if he's like, no, more fussy than usual, when? In what time frame? What do you mean? And was it annoying you? And how do you feel about that? Or some questions I might ask, right? Nana Junkin, oh my goodness, thank you for being a member for 20 months. You're like, I love this community. Oh, thank you so much. Me too. All right. Although he said the baby had been more fussy than usual, and here we go, and that they have both been struggling with depression since their first child died in 2021. And the police were like, sorry, what? You had a child that died in 2021. Tell us more about that. Millie, thank you so much. They say their first baby died from cranial fractures, so skull fractures, at 3 months old. There was or is no criminal case or criminal charges related to that infant's death. I almost want to say yet, because I'm sure they're going to take a good look at that again. Because that baby had skull fractures, and his wife now had skull fractures, even though this baby, their second child, had no visible injuries. Okay? Doc Anastasia said, what's the time frame between him finding her and the 911 call? They do not specify that on the probable cause affidavit, which is what all the media articles are based on. So unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, I wonder how much time he really spent moving or trying to move her body and cleaning up and putting bloody gloves in the dryer, on the dryer, all of that, right? That's pretty scary. Thank you for that sticker. So, can you believe that? Yeah. Mallory says, excuse me, what? That was my reaction. What? I mean, this case is already like, whoa, to think of everything that they're saying, that they found and what he's saying. But then he's like, oh yeah, no, the baby was more fussy than usual. And also they've both been struggling with depression since their first child died in 2021. Also an infant, around the same age. 3 months old was the first child, and from skull fractures, and this time the child was 2 months old. Okay then, so they say when asked about the bruising on his knuckles, he said it's just skin discoloration. I mean, like, sorry to say, but no shit, Sherlock. It's just skin discoloration. And then he went on to say, he said that his wife would sometimes scratch his body because he has psoriasis, and that is frequently itchy. When a detective challenged that claim, because it's kind of saying that it's skin discoloration because he has psoriasis and that his wife scratched his skin. Always in these cases we see some patterns, okay, of victim blaming. Like, oh my goodness. So it's just like, oh, these bruised and bloody knuckles, it's just psoriasis. Okay, right. Which is kind of like eczema, right? Sort of. I know it's its own thing, but okay. So then they say, when a detective challenged the claim, Myklebust said that he would sometimes scratch his psoriasis in his sleep. Like, who is going to believe that? It sounds hectic, especially if you think of her injuries and then the knuckles and what he's saying. I mean, hence I say I want to see that police interview. That would be quite interesting. Beverly, thank you for being a member for 15 months. Now, they say investigators determined the bruising and swelling of Myklebust's knuckles appear consistent with someone who was involved in a physical altercation, and that the hands appear to be used to strike something. Alyssa says, my mom has psoriasis regarding his claim. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't think so, dude. I just can't believe, like, instead of just being quiet, these excuses, that we see people sometimes come up with. Wow. Okay, so now on the right-hand side, you could just see that this is still an ongoing investigation. There's a number that you can call there if you saw anything, if you know anything. So they say suspect for immediate release at the police department, Denver Public Safety. So there was an arrest after the police interview. So they obviously found enough with a search warrant and from what he said, and they're like, okay, we're going to arrest this guy. They said Denver, Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. The Denver Police Department announces the arrest of Nicholas Myklebust, date of birth 9/26/79, for the homicide of an adult female, which occurred on Monday, July 29th of 2024. See, they're not listing the baby's death there. At 6:52 a.m. on July 29th of 2024, Nicholas Myklebust called Denver 911, stating that he found his wife on the ground bleeding and the infant daughter not breathing. I wonder if the infant was smothered. Oh my goodness. So, okay. DPD officers arrived on scene and located the injured adult female who appeared to be suffering from blunt force injuries, and she was transported to the hospital where she was later pronounced deceased. Officers found the child deceased but with no visible injuries. Officers contacted Myklebust, who was then transported by officers to be interviewed. Through the course of the investigation, DPD investigators learned the adult victim sustained injuries that were consistent with the fall. Okay. That learned that the adult victim sustained injuries that were inconsistent with the fall. I was also like, what? Let me just read that one again. Detectives also noticed bruising and blood on Myklebust's knuckles along with scratches on his neck, based on information and evidence obtained. So I guess the scratches on his neck were also psoriasis, right? Lee T says, trying to explain why his DNA is under his wife's fingernails. Yeah, good observation there, Lee T. That is probably what he's doing as well. Also, because he got scratches all over himself. He's like, yeah, no, she scratches me because I've got psoriasis. Wow. Okay, so then they say, sorry, I lost my place there. Based on information and evidence obtained, Myklebust was arrested and is currently being held for investigation of one count of first-degree murder for the homicide of the adult female. The Office of the Medical Examiner will determine the cause and manner of death for both decedents through its ongoing investigation and will also release their identities. Due to the family relationship between the suspect and the decedents, the release of the suspect's identity was delayed to allow time for appropriate next of kin notifications, which were completed this morning. The determination of formal charges will be determined by the Denver District Attorney's Office, and the determination of potential additional charges will be made at the conclusion of the Medical Examiner's Office investigation. Now, anyone with information can call 720-913-7867. Woody says, proud to be a Grizzly. Thank you so much. Okay, so Healing Art says, as a flight nurse, I've attended more deaths than I can count. A SIDS death is so very different than others. And Doc Anastasia said, I work as an ER physician. You are 100% correct on that one. Oh my, I could only imagine. Okay. So let's keep going here. Arrest and court, because what's next, right? So I'm just looking at what you guys are also saying. You're like, what? Thank you all for being here. The one and only Roel, thank you. I'm glad the video works. Please like and share if you haven't yet. Now, arrest and court. You see on the right-hand side there, you can see a case number, 2024 CR 4461. CR... Oh, it's definitely a criminal case now. Things are moving along, especially since things were first reported. And so tomorrow he's going to be in court. So the Denver office of the medical examiner will release Seorin and daughter's cause of death when autopsies are completed. Seorin's injuries include, and trigger warning, okay, it's a lot. Giovanna says, for being a professor, those answers are not very smart. Yeah, right? So her injuries... The wife's injuries, right, Seorin, include skull fracture, facial... Now there, okay, wait, skull fracture, isn't that a red flag as well? Because the 2021 death of their 3-month-old was also from skull fracture. So already there's 2 matching injuries, which is very scary. So, okay, in this one, his wife's injuries, skull fracture, facial injuries, bruising on her arms, head, torso, collarbone, hips, and abrasions to both shoulders. My goodness. Okay. Melly says, my friend's husband got his degree at Regis University, and some folks were suspicious about this previous incident. He was pretty well known around the campus community. Oh my. Yes, if anybody's watching and you knew him at the university, maybe you were a student, maybe you were anyone, if you know him in any way and you know anything and you want to email me any information for insight, then I keep all my sources anonymous, number 1. My email address is grizzlytruecrime@gmail.com. So you can email me and offer me some information if you like. And if you say, I don't want you to share this information publicly, not even anonymously, then I won't. Okay? It might just help for some insight. Now, they say Nicholas was in court for a bond hearing on Tuesday, July 30th of 2024, and is being held on a $5 million bond. The district attorney asked for $10 million. No formal charges have been filed yet, although I think they now have, as I said, because the court docket has been updated, but let's be cautious with that. Things will be happening tomorrow. But police expect that there could be charges by the end of the week, tomorrow. Prosecutors plan to file criminal charges by Friday, which is again why he's in court tomorrow at noon, okay, in Colorado. He's due back in court Friday to face those charges. His public defense attorney is Becca Butler Dines or Dines. I don't know how we say that. Dines, I would assume. The judge has ordered for the defense team to be allowed into the scene after investigators are done processing it, but before the scene is released. So he has a public defender. The case number is there if you did want to look it up or something. He's in the Denver District Court. That's where it's going to be tomorrow. He's currently obviously in jail. So is it raining? Let me just see. Okay, I don't think it's too loud outside or anything. I hope we're all good. So, David Robinson says this will be the trial to watch in the future. Crimes against children are just the worst. It's a little bit, slightly, like Chris Watts, you know what I mean? It's very scary to think, well, family annihilators are very scary. So he's an alleged family annihilator, but oh my goodness. So from the PCA, it says, based on the injuries to the decedent, the redacted, they are not consistent with a fall and appear to be inflicted by someone else. In Detective Sandoval's experience and training, the bruising and swelling of the knuckles appear consistent with someone who was involved in a physical altercation and that the hands appear to be used to strike something. Detective Sandoval also noted that the scratches on the chest and neck appear consistent with someone who is scratching and fighting with another, either to protect themselves or to cause injury to another. And according to Mr. Myklebust, they were the only people at the home at the time that he fell asleep, and he was the person who located his wife deceased. Yeah, Gaynor says he looks a bit scary on that photo. He looks so scary. I really wonder where his mental health is at. You know, what happened to him? What's going on? Why? There's so many questions. Oh, my goodness. On the right-hand side, you can see personal details. It says Myklebust Nicholas, age 44, white male, 6'2", brown hair, brown eyes. Booking date was July 29th of 2024. And the facility is the Downtown Detention Center. Case number 24CR04461. Can't you just hear Judge Benjamin Diener saying it? And we are here today for case number 24CR04461. That would be cool if it was that judge. So murder in the first degree is the offense type. And there is a second one there, which is quite interesting. If I see my own little screenshot there, first degree murder. Let's see if he gets charged with both. That would make sense to me if he was suspected of both. Wow, and I wonder if they're going to look into that other one, right, from 2021. Now, the university, of course, had to make a statement. They've removed his profile from their page. You'll see some of the news articles, the news clips. There's only 2 or 3 news clips out there. This case hasn't had much traction. I saw today, Julie Grant spoke about it as well. But I haven't seen too much media coverage of this beyond that. And so the university, yeah, they've already pulled down his profile. I think you can now hear fireworks. Sorry, guys, if you do hear that. So they say, Regis University is deeply saddened to learn that a member of our faculty, Nicholas Myklebust, has been charged with a serious crime. This news is profoundly distressing for our entire community. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone affected by the situation, especially the victim's family and all members of our community who are grappling with this difficult news. In moments of such sorrow and confusion, we are reminded of our Jesuit values to offer compassion and to seek justice with love. We are focused on providing support to our students, faculty, and staff through our counseling services and university ministry. We ask for respect and privacy for all individuals involved as we navigate this challenging time together. Okay. Anne says, any signs of a girlfriend? That's an interesting question. I wonder, does anyone know anything? Do you want to share it with us? You can email me, grizzlytruecrime@gmail.com. I would love to hear more about him. If anyone knows him, what was he like? Was he a little bit sus? You know, what was he like as a professor? Is he super academic, intelligent, all of that? It seems like it from all these awards and everything. There's so many questions. Okay, so the university has made a statement and removed his page, of course. No association with him. Now, neighbors saying, we'll look at some clips as well. I live right next door. Neighbor Brazil Red said, they are across the hall from me, literally. So I see the man a lot, and we've seen the woman maybe once. So that's also interesting. I see the man probably every other day. He exercises a lot. You see why I thought of Chris Watts too. Because remember when Chris Watts started exercising a lot, and then suddenly he lost a lot of weight, and then suddenly there's oh man, he's got a girlfriend, Nicole Kessinger, and the next minute he's a family annihilator. Oh my goodness. What is going on there? Yes, Paula is reminding everyone it's Swiss National Day. It is Swiss National Day, and I live in Switzerland now, so if you hear fireworks, that's what it's about. Now, also, they said, I've never seen the little girl next door, which is kind of strange to me because I have 2 kids here, Red said. Behind them, I saw my neighbor with his head in his hands, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I thought that something bad happened to him or his family, and that's all I heard besides him being taken out on a stretcher. It's also interesting that Myklebust was taken out on a stretcher. You know, okay, so we've looked at the presentation there. So again, you can call the number. It's in the description box as well if you know anything to share with the police. Now, let's quickly show you this. So again, here's Aurora, Colorado. Here's Denver, okay? Lakewood. Didn't we drive around there with Letitia? This is familiar, right? Right, okay. And so it's to the northeast of that in this Central Park sort of area, okay? In an apartment complex. I don't know why, I just thought, ooh, he's a professor. He must have like a big house or something, but he doesn't have a big house. It's just they lived in this apartment complex here. It's just not what I imagined when I first read about this literary professor. I'm like imagining, I don't know what, some medieval mansion or something like, no. Okay, so they live somewhere around here in the Central Park area, all right? So I don't know if there's any, I haven't seen now. Are there locals here as well? I know there's lots of people who live in Colorado in this community as well. Okay, so here is the Central Park area. And here is Denver. So let's go moving on to this one. They say double homicide suspect arrested. Your Denver Police Department announces the arrest of Nicholas Myklebust, date of birth for the homicide of an adult female, which occurred on Monday, July 29th, 2024, in the 3200 block of North Syracuse Street. And this I read to you earlier. It was a part of my presentation. I just wanted to show you that they also posted it on Facebook, so you could see that. All right. And then this is Seorin Kim's Facebook page. And shame, man. Like she's, like, it sounds like if I had to guess, a total empath, right? And total animal lover. Stefan says, a 13th century poet cottage. Yes. Okay, so shame. Just to show you, Seorin Kim, I haven't seen, like, there's not a Facebook group that I can find or any of her family or friends posting or something like that. So I don't know if she was maybe isolated by him or if she had, you know, moved after she started dating him from somewhere else, another country. I'm not too sure. So if anyone knows anything about her, I'd love to, you know, see some more pictures and learn more about her as well. We don't know much about her. But here she posted, we lost our beloved bunny. This was in 2011. Shuriken yesterday on the 4th of July, and we are having an incredibly hard time. If anyone knows any support groups in Austin, Texas, especially ones for rabbit lost parents or any books or any other resources, we would appreciate it so much. He was the most beautiful creature I have ever known, and I just cannot believe he's gone. I don't know if I can ever fully express how beautiful his soul really was. And the extent of his beauty and love makes it so much harder to deal with the loss. It just feels like someone tore my heart out, and I don't know how to stop the pain. Shame! You know, to love an animal so much. I don't know, it just says a lot about her, I think. I know many of us here, all of us, right? We're all animal lovers to the max, am I right? So this is her Facebook page here. This is just about all I could find. So I think this is him from 2022. Here she said, rediscovering my love for music. I just came across this piano vocal cover I did of Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen a while back. I must have put it away thinking it was no good and then completely forgot about it. I just found it hidden away in my hard drive and decided, well, it's not perfect. It's also not that bad. Hope you enjoy my take on this classic. I always loved the song, but I'm finding it particularly poignant revisiting it now. That was in 2022. So she's got a YouTube channel and she posted some of her songs on there as well. Someone's asking, did he work at the University of Texas too? Not that I know of. Not that I have seen, but I would love more information, right? Okay. Oh, okay. So now let's have a look here quickly. Here's this picture that I've shown you as well from the presentation of them from 2021. Here she said, I greet you from the other side of sorrow and despair with a love so vast and shattered it will reach you everywhere. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's just about what we could see here from 2016. I think this is him. And this is her. Okay. January 10th, 2016. There's not much else that she's made public there. So now this is her YouTube channel, which I'm going to link for you if you want to check it out. Of course, there's some music on it and things. I don't want to have any trouble with YouTube, even though, I don't know what could go wrong, but YouTube and music, they're like, oh, copyright if it's music. So I'm not going to play the music for you. I will link her channel though, Seorin Kim, okay? Just so that you can see. And then let's have a look at this clip over here. Let me just make sure the sound is good.
Day after we saw police investigating the deaths of a mother and her child, new court documents reveal the suspect is husband Nicholas Myklebust, a 44-year-old professor at Regis University who studies the English language during the Middle Ages. The court affidavit says Denver police found his wife, Seorin Kim, with multiple blunt force injuries to her head and face after Myklebust called 911 reporting his wife was hurt and baby was not breathing. Doctors pronounced his wife dead at the hospital. His baby daughter, just over 2 months old, was found dead in their home. During an interview with police, Myklebust told investigators he was sleeping and that his wife must have fallen off the stepladder in the bedroom. Investigators noted Myklebust had bruising on the knuckles and blood, and scratches on his chest and neck. On Monday, a bystander recorded cell phone video showing police taping up the suspect's hands before he was led away by police. In the court documents, Myklebust also claimed he and his wife both have depression since the death of their first child in 2021. He denied killing his wife. Investigators wrote Kim's injuries were not consistent with a fall, and his injuries appeared to be from a physical altercation. Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
Okay, so you saw this, where they're putting baggies over his hands so they can go and, of course, take photographs and do swabs and all of that stuff that we know they're going to do as well. And then we've got this clip as well here.
So far, they haven't arrested anyone. 9 News reporter Gisela K caught up with a neighbor who got a glimpse into the investigation.
Some may see Central Park as a quiet neighborhood. Monday morning's crime scene changed that.
It's really sad.
For Stephen Hathaway.
So close, way too close to home. And then I saw the two kind of unmarked detective cars pull up, and that's when I kind of realized, oh, this is something serious.
Just before 7 a.m., Denver police responded to an apartment near Syracuse and 33rd. They found a woman and a girl dead. Police say the victims had blunt force trauma injuries. Hathaway didn't know any of that.
Yeah, this is bad.
When he started recording on his phone.
And I saw the guy on the stretcher, and he was kind of vomiting in a bag, and I saw that they were wrapping his hands. And that's when I realized, oh, this is probably something serious. And
the person seen having their hands wrapped with plastic was eventually put into a cop car. Police say no arrests have been made and would not confirm if they've detained anyone. They simply...
Obviously, things have escalated real quick, and now he has been arrested. He is going to be back in court tomorrow. He has a $5 million bond, and he's the prime suspect.
Police said they were speaking with the parties involved.
At the time when I took that video this morning, I really didn't know what I was looking at, so it's really unnerving. It's uncomfortable, absolutely.
Hathaway says this isn't the first time police have responded to his neighborhood, but for the sake of everyone's safety, he hopes it's the last.
It just seems like the area, it's not very comfortable to live in anymore. I hope that the girls' families, get the justice that they deserve.
Hathaway says he's considering breaking his lease to move somewhere he feels is safer. Denver police say they're still investigating what happened, but believe they are in contact with everyone that was involved. Jalisa Rosari.
Okay, sorry to pause it there. Okay, so I think I have one more thing here. No, we looked at that. Here is his Vine link. That's all we have. Little Vine link screenshot to say, ooh, where is he now? Denver County Jail, 44 years old, and a white male. Now I'm going to quickly read you this. I just want to ask Leander and Natalie. I didn't see any answers earlier, of course, because I'm looking here. I'm going to try and look that side too now. Would you guys say it Myklebust? Or how would you say it? Or like Myklebust? If I read it, I would say Myklebust, but I'm not too sure. So if you know how to pronounce it, let me know. I would love to know how to pronounce it correctly, as you guys know. Okay, so they say, this is from 2013, so it's a bit of a blast from the past here, but I just found this one thing about it, and they say graduate students Nicholas Myklebust and Megan Andrews win Michael H. Granoff Award. So this is one example of awards that he won along the way. So the Department of English congratulates graduate students Nicholas Myklebust and Megan Andrews on the University Co-op Graduate School Michael H. Granoff Awards. Nicholas received an outstanding dissertation award for his dissertation, Misreading English Meter 1400 to 1514, supervised by Professor Emeritus Thomas Cable. Okay, wait, did I get the answer or not? Did somebody answer or not? Leander, Natalie, do you have it? I'm trying to look out as well. Okay, there. You said Myklebust from how it's spelled, but not sure of the pronunciation. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, he's been busted. And it says Nicholas Myklebusted. Right, so here they say Megan Andrews received, so that was another student, of course. The graduate school coordinates annual awards programs to honor outstanding individuals. These awards are generously underwritten by the University Co-op and are presented at the annual graduate school or University Co-op Awards Banquo, or the graduate school convocation each spring. So, wow, okay. Shraddha, am I saying your name correctly? Nish? Nishe. Shraddha Nish. It's pretentious to expect others to pronounce others' names. But we try, right? We try. We used to get very snarky when the pronunciation police used to roll in here. But now I actually kind of appreciate it. I'm like, tell me how to say it. I want to say it right, okay? So thank you so much. So yeah, this is the only example that I could really find there. If you find anything else out about this guy, if you know anything, okay? Any information, I would really appreciate it, because I'm sure there's going to be follow-up episodes. You know, I'll wait to see what's going to happen next. Let me quickly show you the probable cause affidavit. So, Grizzly Cat and I went on a hunt again for documents. I do love hunting for documents. So, there we go. Here's the probable cause affidavit. So I'm going to show you this example of how much they redacted. My goodness, which is why I'm like, I'm just going to put what I can from this and all the articles in a presentation. Because what? Okay, so meaning, look here, they say on July 29th, 2024, at approximately, see there they say approximately 6:54. And we don't like discrepancies, okay? Listen, people, the police posted on X and Facebook at approximately 6:52. And now on the PCA, they say 6:54. Now, which one is it? If we wanted to nitpick. Okay, the Denver Combined Communication Center received a 911 call. Let me just get the pointer. There we go. Stating that the caller had just found his wife on the ground with blood coming from her head, and that he'd also found his baby who was not breathing. The caller, Nicholas Myklebust, 9/26/1979, stated that. And then they redact all of that. He then stated to 911, silence, redacted. Officers and paramedics arrived on scene, transported the victim with multiple blunt force injuries to her head and face. Paramedics stated these injuries were not consistent with the fall, but they were not sure what caused them. She was pronounced deceased at 7:31 by Dr. Zane. The infant was located on the bed, inside the bedroom. She was pronounced deceased at 7:32 by Dr. Cardenas and did not have any visible injuries. Now, look at this, man. When they say officers contacted Mr. Myklebust, who stated, I'm like, crickets for Mr. Myklebust. Crickets, we want to see the narrative. Why are you redacting all that? Too much redaction. Okay, now I know they do it probably for legal purposes, and don't know why this can't be out there. It was out there at some point, I think, because from what I can see from the articles, it would be from whatever's missing over here, right? So Detective Sandoval, hope I'm saying that right, contacted officers and was appraised of the situation. Detective Sandoval asked officers to secure the residence for a search warrant to obtain photographs of Mr. Myklebust's hands prior to placing bags on them. Or we like to say baggies on them. Officer Jones obtained 2 photographs of Mr. Myklebust's hands, which appear to have bruising on the knuckles and blood. So it's not just like discoloration, it's bruising and blood. Sorry about the fireworks. We're almost done. Detective Sandoval arrived on scene at approximately 7:55 and requested that Mr. Myklebust be transported to the Denver Police Headquarters for an interview. Detective Sandoval entered the residence and observed 3 separate pools of blood, 2 of which were caused by paramedics moving. Oh, there you go. That's more clear. 2 were caused by the paramedics moving the victim close to the bedroom door and then to the living room or kitchen area. The original pool of blood, which was where Mr. Myklebust found his wife, was near the bassinet along the south wall of the bedroom. There was nothing to show that she had fallen or struck her head in any manner on any items in the bedroom. There was no evidence that she had fallen down. Detective Sandoval then responded back to Denver Police Headquarters to interview Mr. Myklebust. Prior to the interview, criminalist Ben Palmer took photographs of both hands of Mr. Myklebust, as well as scratch marks on the neck, chest, and back of the neck to Mr. Myklebust. Detective Sandoval then took him into the interview room where he was read his Miranda advisement. Mr. Myklebust stated that he understood his rights and agreed to waive them to speak with Detective Sandoval. Even there, that's not smart. I mean, we're glad he spoke, but still, come on, man. Come on, man. Normally it's like, I would like an attorney. Oh, there's Grizzly Cat. Thank you, Grizzly Cat, for helping me hunt this down. We were actually racing each other today. Like, I'm gonna... Let's see if I can find it first. You go, I go. We found it around the same time. So, yes, so thank you so much. Detective Sandoval then took Mr. Myklebust into the interview. Now, look at this. Look at this narrative. I was so ready to read everything that he told the police, okay? And they say, Mr. Myklebust stated. Oh, that's all redacted. And they say, Mr. Myklebust, redacted. And then he stated, redacted. I'm like, come on, man. So anyway, Sandoval asked about the bruising to his knuckles, and he stated. And then he also stated. And I'm like, whoa. So they really redacted a lot, which is why I'm like, let me just I'm going to pick out the best from this PCA, put it in a presentation, and then go fill in the blanks from the articles, because clearly somewhere out there must be an unredacted version for all those media companies to have the details that they have about the psoriasis, about all, all of that stuff. So yes, that is what we have. Okay. So everyone, thank you so much. I think I'm going to call it a day before these fireworks get too loud and you'll all be like, what is that? Sorry about that. I really appreciate you being here to listen to this new case with me. I'll keep you posted. As I say, he's going to be in court tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to show that or not. Usually it's a little bit uneventful, but Lenky plays his Myklebust. Thank you for that. I will keep you posted, so you'll be back in court tomorrow. As I say, it's usually a little bit uneventful, so I don't know if we'll stream it or whatever, but I might make a YouTube short or a community post just to update you on what's going on. And let's keep a close eye on this one, because I think this case is very hectic. Oh my goodness. So please like and share if you haven't yet. Leave a comment below. I always look forward to reading your comments, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, and anyone who is Swiss, happy Swiss National Day. This is the first time I'm here in Switzerland, and I can hear all the excitement outside. So, all right, everyone. Thank you, mods. Bye.